The virus has impacted the rand and global markets this week. This as the world is dealing with fears around the pandemic. According to Bloomberg, the drop came as investors fled riskier assets, with tumbling oil prices adding to the nervousness. John Jack, CEO of Gillette Corporate Real Estate, is here to elaborate on the matter. John, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, yeah.
Now, looking at where we're sitting globally, I mean, global markets were actually plummeting by about Friday. And when we're looking at the South African context as well, one may say that it's a very tough time economically, and the coronavirus is not making matters any easier.
No, not at all. I mean, I think we're in a position at the moment where we thought we were starting to see a base, specifically in the real estate market. We think we start seeing a base, and all of a sudden you get something out of nowhere like the coronavirus, which has caused a lot of fear. You're going to see companies struggling. You're going to see a lot of panic in the market, and all of a sudden you're going to see the real estate, the landlords, starting to take on the brunt of that. You can imagine businesses start suffering. They need to find cheaper premises. They need to consolidate. Who takes the brunt of that? The landlords. Yeah.
I mean, on the other side of it, I mean, we're looking at it, we're going to go into the real estate industry because one can imagine that there are also, incurring effects of that. But when we're looking at it from an investment perspective, would we expect that a lot of investors will be pulling out of South Africa as a result of the fears? I mean, look, it's a global pandemic, but really how it affects the local markets as well as local investors is one thing else.
Sure. I don't think so. I don't think they're going to be pulling out of the market completely. I think the guys sitting on cash are going to find opportunities to buy now. We've had a situation largely where, specifically in the listed sector, they'll only sell at their balance sheet values, properties. They'll only sell at balance sheet values, and the purchasers just cannot get to that level. We're going to see that maybe now as an excuse to revalue these assets, and suddenly the purchasers can get into the assets. And so you might find opportunities as opposed to people just running. I think property always provides a good underlying asset value, and so becomes a safe haven in a lot of situations.
What are opportunities? And what opportunities can we actually identify during this kind of uncertainty? Because one always says that if there's a recession, there always poses the way of an opportunity within it. So is there any opportunity available during a coronavirus, the pandemic?
You know, they say you should always try and force a cash flow crisis into your business to really analyze what you're overspending on. You know, in times of excess, people just tend to spend. You re-sign contracts. You never go and benchmark back to what you should potentially be paying as a rental, what you should be potentially paying your legal, your auditors, etc., etc. So I think the opportunity is to look into your business. Too often people go and run to the headcount and say we've got to cut jobs and all the rest of it. I don't think that's what South Africa needs to be doing. We don't need more of that. What you need to do is look at your business and find those opportunities to collaborate with other businesses.